and welcome to this episode of Flyby, presented by the National Model Aviation Museum. I'm your host, Claire, and today we're changing the viewpoint to FPV. First-person view, or FPV, allows the multi-rotor pilot to see what is directly in front of the model aircraft through a wireless camera feed that is transmitted to a pair of goggles. This allows the pilot to have a front row seat as they guide the aircraft's flight. Typically, FPV is most closely associated with multi-rotors, also known as drones. FPV isn't just for drones, however. There are fixed-wing model aircraft that can be flown by FPV as well. Multi-rotors are aircraft that fly using two or more rotors mounted onto a frame. They are powered by electric motors connected to speed controllers that execute the commands sent by the pilot to the aircraft by radio control. Multi-rotors have been gaining in popularity since the early 2000s. It's no wonder informal drone racing began to take place in backyards and parks throughout the world. The first FPV races were flown by friends for the fun of it and the informal title of best, but rules quickly emerged as the races became more popular. As races became more standardized, pilots would be expected to maneuver their multirotors through complicated obstacle courses without losing control or crashing. Whoever successfully completed the course first would be declared the winner. In May 2015, Scott Hrefslin organized the first AMA-sanctioned FPV race during the DataX conference. The race took place on Santa Barbara High School's football field, but didn't draw the biggest crowd of pilots. There were less than 25, but it was a heated competition. The race's winner, Zoe K. Stumbach, commented, "Racing was frantic. After the first heat, it was a race to keep machines flying. After a race, it was a rush to do maintenance while other people had their heats. There were 3 groups of us rotating out for racing. Once the races started, it was a mad dash and things turned into a blur." The final heat came down to 3 competitors, Steven, Rotor Guru, and Zoe. Steven crashed, leaving just Zoe and Rotor Guru to battle it out. Zoe maintained the lead throughout the heat, though things looked bad for her when he closed in at one point. But in the nick of time, Zoe laid on just enough speed to cross the finish line first. Zoe's winning multi-rotor is a heavily modified version of the 290mm Blackout Spider hexacopter design that she named Rat. Zoe, who is also a car and motorcycle enthusiast, picked the name Rat because of the low profile and extreme speed reminded her of a rat rod car. Built from 3mm carbon fiber, the Rat features 6 motors and electronic speed controllers that output nearly 100 amps at full throttle, which means the aircraft is capable of speeds above 70 miles per hour. To get that speed, Zoe's modifications included adjusting the frame and profile of the hexacopter to the point where it weighed 18 ounces so the motors had a better thrust-to-weight ratio, adjusting the profile of the camera mounts for better viewing and support during fast flight, running the motors over original specifications in order to get the same power as a larger motor without the additional weight, and tinkering with the electric speed controllers to synchronize better with the motors. The Rat was the largest multi-rotor entered in the race, which meant that Zoe had to be extra cautious when flying the course. Her win came down not only to the speed of the Rat, but her ability to keep tight, precise control throughout the obstacles and a trick of getting speed through the slalom by using bursts of directed thrust. These skills she learned through practice and lots of it. She commented to the museum that when learning to fly, "For months I'd fly, crash, build, and repeat. It became a normal part of my life and something I went to bed thinking about and woke up looking forward to." Not only did Zoe's flight practices pay off, but her skill with electronics and repairs also was vital when the Rat crashed in one of the earlier heats and had to be quickly fixed with CA glue and tape before its next flight. These fixes are still evident on the frame. Shortly after the race in 2015, Zoe donated the Rat, her Turnigy 9XR Pro transmitter, and Bosscam FPV goggles to the museum with the added comment of, "Keep flying." Thank you for tuning in to this month's episode of Flyby. As always, please leave your questions, ideas, and suggestions in the comment section. Follow us on social media for updates on current projects, new donations, and behind-the-scenes historical aero modeling information. We always appreciate your feedback. If you notice any discrepancies in the information provided, or if you have additional information, please email us at museum@modelaircraft.org.